Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome to Minecraft Snapshot 12W42. Got a few smaller changes this time around, still thought I'd go over them. So let's start off with some tweaks to the anvils. Obviously, since those were implemented last week, there's been a lot of questioning as to how useful they actually were, considering the resources it cost to make one, and how many levels it actually cost to combine enchantments, repair tools, so on and so forth. So that feedback was certainly taken into account, and some changes have been made accordingly, and it certainly seems like an improvement. So let's start off with a change to the crafting recipe. So instead of it requiring 6 blocks of iron, it now only requires 3 plus 4 iron ingots, and there you have an anvil. Alright, so let's place it down, and immediately you'll notice some changes when we plop something in. So when we just throw in a regular diamond pickaxe, nothing else next to it gives you this big X, meaning you can't actually do anything to it. If we change the name, however, that's an applicable change that can be made with the iron, for lack of better phrasing, and it'll tell you how much that's going to cost. Enchantment costs 7. It's giving us a green light because we're in creative, so we have unlimited experience levels, and should we want to, we could grab our diamond pickaxe spelled incorrectly, and it would go just fine. Now, on the other hand, let's go and switch on into survival. And now, if we throw in the same thing, try to make the name change, it'll give us a little red enchantment cost text right there, letting us know that we can't actually afford this change. So, take that into account. Go back into creative. And now, another thing that we can do is we can repair tools with their resource. So instead of actually having to combine 2 different pickaxes, because obviously if we had 2 diamond pickaxes, we could simply go into our workbench, and if they were the same kind, we could just combine them. Obviously we can do the same here, but it's not really worth it since this one is enchanted. So that wasn't very useful in the past anvil mechanics, but now you can simply throw a diamond in there as is, throw another diamond, and you'll notice that each diamond we throw in will up the durability of our outgoing pick. Now this is actually more expensive when it comes to just a standard pickaxe. It would be easier for us to just make a brand new one on a workbench. However, if you have an enchanted pickaxe and you want to repair that, it's actually fairly reasonable. That way you can actually, if you like your enchantment, you don't have to go through the hassle of trying to get it once more by throwing in more diamond pickaxes into your enchantment table. So this is new, and it allows for much easier ways to repair your enchanted tools. So those are the main changes to the anvil. It'll also give you a little level cap notification if you exceed the level caps. Say we want to change a name and repair, but at the same time, the level cost has actually been brought down for the most part, so a lot more things are going to be affordable without tripping off that level cap. So anyway, improvements to the anvil. Now, the snapshot also comes with a change to repeater mechanics. It's actually not so much of a change, more so just added functionality, so let's set that up. Put a repeater like so, put another one facing perpendicular to it, and set up a couple wires out here, put some levers on the end of them. Turn it on and off, works just like normal, but if we flip this lever right here, you'll notice that we've got this bedrock textured strip that appears across the repeater. What that does, or what that signifies, is that this repeater is now locked. So now if we flip this lever, you'll notice this output stays constant. It doesn't change. So this repeater is locked in whatever state it was in when this repeater was triggered. Now if we turn this one off, this one becomes unlocked, and if we flip it back and forth, it behaves normally. Again, can lock it now in the opposition, and now you can't turn it on or off. So it's called the repeater lock. Pretty self-explanatory why that is. And as far as practical uses for it, haven't yet flushed out all of them. I'm sure there are many, but as far as just a couple ones I could think of off the top of my head. Say you're in an adventure map, you want to trigger a checkpoint door, and you want it to remain open. So say you flip this lever, behaves normally, door will open and close each time you flip the lever. Say you want to disable that though, so that you can't accidentally lock yourself back in and not be able to access your checkpoint. Flip this lever on the other side, and then you go back, and sure enough, this lever is now disabled. The way that worked is that when we flip this lever, it put this repeater into the on position. We headed on over here, we triggered this repeater right here, and that locks this one in the state it was in, which was the on position. And now, when you flip this lever back and forth, again, this repeater is locked and it has no effect. All right, let's just reset that to being closed once more. And now, another use is a very simple pulse lengthener. So with a button, usually you have just a couple instances to get through the door before it closes on you. This just keeps the door open for a little bit longer. Not necessarily a huge difference, but just makes it a bit easier to get through the door first try without it embarrassing you by hitting you in the face. Anyway, the way that works is press the button, it feeds the signal into the opening repeater. Initially, this one opens the door, and then once again, it just feeds the current around to this repeater right here, and once the current hits this one, it will lock the other repeater in its on state for just a little bit longer before the door ends up closing. So that's that. Again, I'm sure there are plenty of other uses, I'm just not smart enough to see them yet. So anyway, keep that in mind, and it should be pretty helpful. And one final change that's only something that can be demonstrated visually is that bats will no longer set off pressure plates, trample crops, set off tripwires, so on and so forth, and just giving you a demonstration by showing you that the redstone won't ignite, the crops don't go away, and these tripwires aren't going off. So anyway, that's about it for this snapshot. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, a rating would be much appreciated. Other than that, we'll see you all next time.